So let's talk about the truth about TSM and this $100 billion investment into the U.S. It's not the case at all. As you can see on the screen, this is a picture of the building taken in 2002. This actually started in May of 2020. Okay, so they had already had a 10-year plan to build three campuses in Phoenix. Two of them are already there, and all they're doing is just adding more money to what they were already doing. Okay, so if we look here at the current construction, we see a warehouse here. We see all the plotted lands because they've been bought all this land. I don't know if you guys know about subdividing and development, but this has been going on for a long time. So this is nothing new. I understand the government came out and tried to make it seem like this was something new, but it's really not. This has been going on for a while. Like I said, what they did, right, what they're doing now is the extra money that they brought in, that's to ensure that they get the third building up. I'm not sure how many of these different technical campuses that you guys have seen, like if you've seen the SpaceX campus in LA, or if you've seen like the Raytheon campus, but there are these big campuses with several buildings. That's all that's going on here. And this all this was saying, okay, in order to get this thing done, it's going to take a little bit more money, and we're actually ready to proceed because there were some limitations in terms of the employment, like getting the right people who could build this campus. Okay, so they tried to make it seem like they're bringing this to the U.S. for the first time. That's not true. TSM has been in Arizona since 2020, and there are already two campuses there. Okay, so another thing about it is this will allow the U.S. to have about a 20% footprint in the game. Right now, they have basically almost zero, but by the end of 2030, which is only 5 years from now, then they'll have about 20% footprint, market share in terms of this type of technology being produced in the United States. Okay. There are a couple of things, there's a couple of key takeaways here that I must talk about before we jump into the charts and into the technicals. Okay. Number one, this has nothing to do with tariffs. Okay. The U.S. is asking for this. The U.S. has skin in the game. The U.S. has also put in several billion dollars, in just different, types of grants and stuff like that. So the U.S. has skin in the game. You're not going to say we're willing to invest in this, but we're going to tax you and tariff you. That's not what's happening here. Okay. So this has nothing to do with tariffs. The United States, both countries are heavily invested in bringing that technology to the U.S. Okay. Number two, you couldn't tariff it anyway. A semiconductor is not something you ship. It's the material that the chips like your Intel chips, your AMD chips, and your NVIDIA chips, that little square wafer thing, and it's got the little metal little parts that come down onto the circuit board. That's what this is, the semiconductor, allowing the electricity to be conductible and move across the circuit board. Okay, you can't tariff that. You don't ship somebody a semiconductor. The semiconductor is built on to in a case of computing, onto the circuit board or the motherboard. Okay, so that's two. Three, they've already been here. So did they avoid a tariff that they should have already been paying for 5 years? No, that doesn't make sense. They've been here for several years, so they would have already avoided a tariff if that was the case. Now, adding on to that, yes, the government told you a flat out lie to your face, because they did come out and say that on TV. I think they think that you're stupid, but that was stupid for them to do that. I think JD Vance owes you an apology, and I am unapologetic when I say that. That was a flat out lie. That when he said that they would avoid tariffs by this, he was lying, because they've been here. Like, don't talk to the American people like they're stupid, because they're not all stupid. And again, the last point I want to make is this is a strategic effort on both ends to take advantage of this large market, the largest economy in the world. Why wouldn't you want to have some of that produced here? Okay. This is basically a joint venture. They're coming together to do this. The Taiwanese and the United States. Okay. Enough running my mouth. But we had to get that out the way. Let's just kind of do a little bit more. We got to, people. I'm sorry. You got to hold tight. I know you want to talk. I know you want to hear, you want to see patterns and trading opportunities and stuff like that. But it's important to, the information is important that you understand that you're not running around just spewing stuff that you don't know what you're talking about and vomiting all over the place. Okay. So let's just talk about the difference. Okay. A CPU is it's a type of microchip chip, think Intel, Pentium, think of that, AMD or NVIDIA graphic GPUs, okay, the processor, so the CPU. So TSM does not make CPUs, okay, the microchip is created by using semiconductor materials, which is TSM. That's where they come in. Okay, so you need the parts that make up this stuff. It's made from TSM. So you can't have one without the other. Okay, that's how powerful this stuff is. That's how big this company is. You don't have Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA without TSM. And there's another part that I'm going to talk about in a second. Thus, the CPU, Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA is made of semiconductor TSM material. Okay, they make the material that your chips are made with. Of course, their clients are NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, but there's been a little, Qualcomm has taken a hit because now Apple has dropped. Apple is no longer a customer of Qualcomm. The iPhones are not running Qualcomm chips. The iPhone has started making its own chips because it bought chip technology from Intel and started making its own chips. Okay, so TSM, they make the stuff for these big dogs here. And even they can't exist without their own, because their material has to come from somewhere else. And that's a company called ASML Holding. Okay, so their relationship with TSM is they provide critical equipment for TSMC's advanced manufacturing process. So all three of those, this brings you down to what you would call an ecosystem. Okay, each listed entity plays a critical role in the semiconductor ecosystem, contributing either through indispensable manufacturing equipment and technology or by relying on TSMC's advanced foundry services to deliver high performance products like these CPUs, but they don't make the CPUs. Okay, with that out the way, all right, I can clean up and we'll tell you what is on the docket trade wise. Now, it's hard to really say because the technology sector has been taking some hits as different companies, and there's just so much riding on the line waiting for AI to get to full strength. And AI is relying on these chips. It's relying on Intel, NVIDIA, Qualcomm. Everybody's going to have a part to play in it when you talk about quantum computing. So, but let's just jump right here. We're just going to focus on some of the recent action. I'm just going to plot us out a market really quick, and we'll talk about what's in it, how we got here, and what we can expect now that we are here. I believe we are here. Let's try to find out. It's not going to take us long at all, because in true Harmonic Trading Club fashion, we're going to jump right out and grab the advanced pattern right here that is forming. And it is an advanced shark pattern. Okay, 127. We're getting very close, very close. 127.2. Come up. There we go, on the dot. Okay, so do we have 38.2 to the? Do we have 38.2 to the A? Let me see if he's valid. It looked like a shark, but we need a 38.1. Can we get 38.2? We're forcing 38.4. Okay, wait a minute. Come down a little bit more. Okay, almost 40%. Okay, so your X to A leg, the requirement on this advanced shark pattern. If you want more information, detailed information and instruction on identifying the advanced shark pattern, I do have this pattern, this class, the whole training on this in the Harmonic Trading Academy playlist. Can't think of the name of it right now, but you'll see it. It's got a nice, big, pretty blue shark on it with muscles and stuff like that. So if you want to learn how I just did that, I have a class on identifying this pattern there. So it's valid on the B leg at 40%, and it's valid on the C leg at the top at 2408. What am I missing? Oh, and the D leg is 127 extension on the D leg. I'm forgetting my measurements, which I never do. Okay, 127 percent inversion of C to X for the entry right here. Now it is oversold, which is a good thing, but we don't have the divergence, meaning that it's pointing up yet and telling us that it's going to be good to go long on it. We don't have that, so it could draw down some more. No telling, but it still has a couple of dollars to drop. I think this is about $170 even at D, the entry. Yeah, about $170 even before the investors hopefully come in. I'm not saying they are, but this is just, you got to trade what you see. As long as everything lines up, you'd be able to kill off this shark pattern. Okay. Excuse me. So that's there and ready. It'd be good if we had the bullish divergence. We don't. There's one more thing on here that's actually pretty good, and that there's a major Fibonacci retracement present. And starting from this swing low here to this swing high, this is almost a 618 retracement. So if I grab the Fibonacci retracement tool, this is just helping us build a higher combined technical score. Okay, combined technical scoring. I do have a class on that, on just putting different things together and giving them points to kind of like identify, okay, this opportunity might be a little bit more probable than I thought. So you see the confluence, the 618 retracement of that low down there to that high 618, combined with the 127 extension of this A to X coming into the same exact place, right? So that is building up high on the combined technical score. The only thing that's really missing is the bullish divergences there, and then there might be some more waiting to see if investors are really ready to come in here. And then you also have to take into consideration a lot of the computing and tech stocks haven't been performing that well over the last several weeks. But if they were to pick up, if it was time to go, yeah, this would be a bad boy. Let's talk about what the targets would look like on it if that were the case. If that thing fills and starts printing green candles in our bias, and if it can hold and not come back and wipe us out like they did today, which was really terrible. But if we can get this thing to start printing green candles, see, they're mostly red. If this thing can start printing green candles, then we'd be off to the races. Of course, we'd have to be very careful, and we'd have to put a stop under there. And of course, you guys have seen how I do the ATR based stop. The stop would be under there, and the opportunity would look like kind of like entering right here. And I would be very aggressive on here. I would be targeting this thing all the way back up to where it came, maybe even higher than that. I'd probably be even more aggressive than that, because I would also be looking at the whole entire trend here. So this thing is trending. So there's no reason to stop. I would also come and do an A to B is equal to CD pattern, especially since that's a 618 retracement. I would take this and I would also combine it with an A to B is equal to CD pattern, because remember, it's about identify and predict. Identify, predict, decide, execute. So knowing that we're in the midst of, we have a 618 retracement, we would go A to B is equal to CD by cloning the A and B leg, and then running an extension from the swing low to the swing high, knowing that it's going to be 127%. And then that tells us that our actual real target is way up here. Not even 127. It'd be actually 1414. All right. 1414. So the real true target is hyper aggressive. The long term, more than a swing. This would be a long term. If we were to get that, we would all be so happy. Okay. Remember, the Harmonic Trading Club does not provide trading signals or give trading advice. As always, consult with a financial expert of your choice. and be very careful when investing your money or your capital into these highly volatile, dangerous markets. A Harmonic Trading Club is not responsible for anything that you do with your money. Disclaimer. But yeah, if that were to work out for us, and we would have just go ahead and use this entry at B of this A to B is equal to CD pattern and play the trend continuation combined with the advanced shark pattern, that would be amazing to take that thing up to $265. Just imagine getting in there and just staying and just letting it run off for, you know, I don't know, a couple of years or something. When was this part? 8 of 24. So just imagine going to, like, you know, 8 of 26 is we're coming to 25. Imagine writing this up to 8 2026. You just look up and it was the only trade you made. Just imagine that. So that's the technical. That handles the technical part of it. We handled the fundamental part of it. We handled the little educational and explanation part of it. Chips versus semiconductors. We got some advanced pattern recognition in. We got to see the shark pattern get projected live in action. We got to throw a little bit more A to B is equal to CD in here. We got to talk a little bit about fibs, some of the usual stuff. But I really would like to see that bullish diversion. But we're at the end of this one. I hope that this one provides some value for you. If you had questions about TSM, if you know someone that this can help, or if you know an aspiring trader who might have mentioned something about advanced pattern recognition or harmonic patterns, you know where to send them. Like the video, give me a thumbs up. The thumb up is not for me, it's for the algorithm. It's to tell YouTube, hey, the people actually like this video, to send it out to more people. So I like the video so YouTube can send it to other people. I really think that they need to see it, because a lot of people are being lied to and told that you know, making it seem like the Taiwanese were strong-armed into this, you know, as if they didn't, they were going to get tariffed to death, and they've already been here for several years. And share the video, and most of all, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you can be notified when I put these videos out. I've been trying to put at least one out daily. I'm trying to get us into the habit of going live, but just a lot more goes into that. I'd have to do all the analysis and all that kind of stuff, then go live, then talk about it, then miss out on trades that I might want to take, then go do the rest of the stuff in my day, then come do it again and do a post market. But I'm going to get there. Okay, so enough talking. Now that you guys got the information, we can get out of here. Like, subscribe, share, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. Thanks for helping this channel grow. We're going to be here for the long run. This is something that we can do each and every day of our lives. I love you and I appreciate you. You guys take care. Be safe in the markets. We're out.